Hello everybody and welcome back to the Adventures in Collecting YouTube channel where we take a closer look at the toys we talk about on the show. And today we're back with another Marvel Legends figure. Today we're back with Marvel's Prowler from Into the Spider-Verse. You can hear that noise that's playing, right? That great sound effect. This is part of the Stiltman Build-A-Wave, much like the Miles Morales figure that we previously took a look at. This is one of the villains of the film, depending on how you look at it, right? Yeah, so we have the Prowler. We have, spoiler alert, Miles Morales' uncle here, in all of his purple and dark blue and black glory. On the back, we get some really great art. Again, Jerry Wilson just crushing it with the art for these boxes, like always. And then, you know, we have the cross-sell there at the bottom. You can see the rest of the wave mates. And of course, with the Build-A-Figure Stiltman, if you can find, well, not if, that's a little mean. When you find the Red Ninja, you can army build him and actually continue to pick up pieces of the legs here to make Stiltman taller and taller and taller. So awesome move there from Hasbro, you know, to make the Build-A-Figure more fun and army build at the same time. So very cool. The package otherwise is the same thing we're used to seeing from Marvel Legends. We get the great Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse logo there at the bottom, the great big window so you can see the Prowler and his accessories. Looks like his accessories are only the Build-A-Figure pieces. This briefcase actually does go with Stiltman, but you know, he's a bad guy. He could be on a caper. So let's take a closer look. Let's open up the Prowler here, take a closer look at what's inside.
Stand clear of the closing doors, please.
All right, so here he is. We are looking at, of course, the Prowler here from Into the Spider-Verse, and right away you can see the deco is fantastic on it. It looks like it looks like he has crawled right off of the screen and into your toy collection. They did a bang-up job here with the sculpt. Now, as far as what this figure comes with accessory-wise, we do not get any alternate head or hands. Fists would have been really cool with this character since he does do a lot of punching. You know, the partially open, partially fisted hands, they do a decent job of getting that across regardless, so it's not too bad. His cape is detachable. We'll get into that in a second, but his only other accessory technically is for Stiltman, the Build-A-Figure for this wave, but the little briefcase works for the Prowler too. I mean, he can go on some capers. You have you know, a living hinge here, which is always scary with plastic. You know, this briefcase has a very finite amount of times that it can be opened and closed, so just be careful with it. And then we do get a big old pile of money, but it is a solid chunk of bills there. But you know, he does he is able to hold the briefcase without any problem. So it is an accessory that works well for the Prowler as well. But yeah, let's get into the paint and detail here. So the single piece costume here looks great. We do, once again, like we do with the rest of the figures from this wave, we are benefiting from those pinless elbow and knee joints. So you know, the breakup there is really nice, or the lack of breakup there, I should say, is really nice. The sculpted details in his cape, you know, the wrinkles, the collar, the seams, all of it's there, down to his kind of powered up gauntlets here. Really great touches throughout. There's some nice pink color, different types of paint being used. So you go from the matte finish to the metallic finish. You get two different color metallic paints on the gloves. You get the silver, and then you get the brass or the copper gold color. So really great detail there. He does have a belt that is not sculpted on, but there's no way to take said belt off. So you know, it does move around with him, which is good because it makes his poses a little more dynamic. You know, gives him just kind of another piece there, and also hides one of the points of articulation, which is nice. What's really cool is, I don't know how well it's coming across on camera here, but there is kind of a two-tone nature to his pants and his top here, where it's almost like a blue-green color that transitions to a purple color, and there is a little bit of like an ombre to the transition. You can see a very definitive line where the color stops, but because of the types of paint that they use and the way that it plays with light, you do get a really nice kind of variation there in the paint, which is very, very effective. Again, the little things like the sculpted detail of his the way that his pants crease at his calves, and again into his boots, just more detail there, sculpted in a really great job. So let's get into the articulation. First and foremost, before we get anywhere else, his arms do not go, at least on mine. I have to imagine it's all of them, but his arms do not go straight to his side. That's it. That's as far as they go. If you try to force them further, his shoulder joint will actually pop out. Personally, it doesn't bother me. I know some people who are, very, very much so caught up with the articulation. I think they're going to be maybe a little disappointed to find that, his arms don't have that full range that they expect. There's no butterfly joints there. They're typical ball joints, and because of the bulkiness of his chest and the design, that's as far in as they go, and out, they'll go out pretty far, as much as, you can kind of expect at this point. They can go straight out. You're not going to get that butterfly joint action where they're kind of really extending past his back like that. But that's the first thing. His head, he can look down about that much, and he can look up about that much, and it's almost kind of his neutral pose. The head is sculpted in such a way where the back of the mask does impede some of that backwards movement, but he can look down significantly far, which is great. Moving back into the arms, we do have the bicep swivel. As I mentioned, you have the double jointed pinless elbow, which is great. He gets a really great range of movement. And then you get the pivot and the rotation, full rotation at the wrist. There is, there's no forearm swivel there with the gauntlet. Would have been a good place to hide it. Then in the middle here, we get an ab crunch that, again, because of the way that the figure is sculpted, he goes down about that much, and he goes back significantly. Here you can actually see, once we move back, there is a little bit of a peg here that keeps his cape in place. Without that peg, the cape kind of gets all willy-nilly on you. So, it does behoove you to, at least in my opinion, find the peg hole in the back there for the cape to keep the cape in place. For me, it just looks a little bit better that way. You do get the full waist swivel there as well. As for his legs, we have kind of the old school style, crotch piece there. So he doesn't get the full split, but he's pretty much all the way there. And then we do get the upper thigh cut. He can kick super far forward, and again, because of that kind of old school style piece there, he's not going to kick back very far, if at all. You're going to have to cheat and lean him forward like that to do a back kick. Then moving down, we get again that pinless double jointed knee. Moves really great because of the way, again, that the figure is just designed in the sculpt. You're not getting that crazy amount of movement there, but again, you're getting a really good bend out of his knee. One thing I did forget to mention too, again, because of the old school style hip and crotch system, you're not getting those drop down legs like you are on, say the new retro Spider-Man. And then moving down past that, right at the top of the boot, they hide a really nice calf swivel, and then you get your typical rotation all the way down at the feet, rotation and pivot. So overall, I'm super happy with this figure. He poses really dynamically. Once that cape does pop off, it can be a little bit of a pain to find the peg back there again. It's a little bit of like a gummy kind of plastic, so it doesn't want to behave all the time. I might have to pop the head off to get it back on, but it's not as bad as like Loki's cape that you look at it the wrong way and it falls off, but it stays on once it's in there. So let's take a look at how he looks with some other figures. All right. So of course we can't look at the Prowler, can't look at Uncle Aaron without his nephew there, Miles. So as you can see, the scale is great. Miles is certainly, significantly shorter than his Uncle Aaron here. And he looks great. They look great together. Again, they look like they have fallen right off of the screen and into our toy collections. So that is how he looks with his nephew. Here is how he looks next to the G.I. Joe Classified series Snake Eyes. I don't know why, but this pairing looks really cool to me. I feel like there would be a really good battle between these two. It's a great combo. Nice little, color symmetry too, with the dark colors and the hoods and the masks and everything. So that's how he looks next to a G.I. Joe Classified Snake Eyes. So here's how he looks next to the Jazzwares Legendary Series Beef Boss from Fortnite. Again, great scale. Marvel Legends figures scale really, really well with with what Jazzwares is doing for Fortnite. So you can really kind of don't let your dreams be dreams, as they say. And then here's one last comparison shot before we wrap it up. Here's how he looks next to Elite Series 81 Shinsuke Nakamura from Mattel, of course, WWE Elites. I don't know why, but the Prowler gives me some serious wrestling vibes. So I could totally see him, doing some sort of moonsault or frog splash off the top rope. So here he is with Shinsuke Nakamura. So let's flip the camera around and let's wrap it up. I mean, at this point, who's surprised? Who's surprised that it's not another awesome figure from the team over at Hasbro for Marvel Legends? I mean, this Prowler is he's fantastic. It is such a good figure. It looks, again, much like the Miles Morales figure. It looks like the figure has walked off the screen and onto your shelf. All of the things that we went over, the new pinless joint system is a huge win for everybody. It really reduces the amount of seams, the articulation, the sculpt, the deco, the detail. It's all there. This is a fantastic figure. And a great likeness, again, from the version that we saw on screen and into the Spider-Verse. So another big double thumbs up. Great figure from the team at Hasbro. Make sure that you hit that subscribe button down there so that way you don't miss videos like this where we take deeper dives into toys. And make sure you hit that bell icon while you're down there too, so that way you get notifications. Your likes and subscribes and comments, all that stuff down there helps us out more than I can convey in words. If you like what you see here, just that little bit of effort really makes a difference, helps us get in front of more people, and helps us talk about toys to a wider audience. So please, if you don't mind. While you're following things, make sure that you follow us here at AIC_podcast on Instagram and Twitter, where we're constantly posting toy news, toy photography, all the fun things that we're finding in the toy community. And then make sure you're listening to us here on the Adventures in Collecting podcast. You can find us where all podcasts are found. Simply search for Adventures in Collecting, or hit the link in the description, which will take you to our website, where you can find all the things that I just talked about. Stick around after the fade for some additional photos of the Prowler and some other Marvel Legends. And as always, until next time.